Welcome, welcome to my show. I am your host, Amit Roy. Today I want to tell you about G7 and its impact on the world. Now, G7 is happening in Hiroshima, and we know about Hiroshima and the atomic explosion. So, G7 is happening with the backdrop of Putin's threat, nuclear threat, and China's belligerence. So these are the facts some facts I want to put in front of you. Number one, you see, there are some important invitees in this G7. One is India. Now, G7 has mainly will discuss, in my view, on nuclear threat of Putin and Chinese belligerence and free navigation and salami slicing free South China Sea and East China Sea. Now, China's look. Before I start that, I want to tell you one more thing. What is Russian and Chinese foreign policy? Now, these are mainly sabotage, coercion, and pressure politics. Now, why? Look, if I may say that China's foreign policy, and the Russian foreign policy, both are threat, creating sabotage in the world economy. Number one, China did that with COVID, and Russia played oil politics in the name of Ukraine war. That was their main objective, to stall the world's economic growth, sabotage world order, replace dollar. These are kind of things they are thinking all the time. Against G7, China is making the Central Asian meeting so that their conceptual military Belt and Road Initiative is revived. And China has also threatened Japan by sending warships to Senkaku Island. Look, Rishi Sunak, after arriving in Japan, has indicated that he is going to make more sanctions against Putin. Now, that is very interesting. He says beyond these current sanctions, UK will put more sanctions on Russia to stop Putin. And these are on metals and other kind of, mainly metals I saw, like commodities. Russia exports a lot of commodities. So these are the things very big significance. Besides, I saw one more news that Korean giant Samsung has planning to make one semiconductor plant in Japan. That's also very significant. Look, why I'm saying you this. Japan's Taiwan policy is very important. Now, China is always threatening Taiwan. Now, Japan directly, though, did not say in previous times that they will support the independence of Taiwan. But China's belligerence has put Japan into a different kind of mind frame. Besides, Japan has a right-wing coalition party in the center and promoting individual exposure right now, to be precise. Though Abe is killed, I don't know who killed Abe, why killed Abe, that has put a dent on Japanese foreign policy. And now Fumio Kishida is there. So look, Japan will, at this meeting, will highlight on nuclear proliferation. So who are the persons, who are the countries they are targeting? The one is North Korea, again, the rogue nation. Second is Iran. Third is Pakistan. Those who are having perpetual problem and security risk. So this kind of things will target these kind of countries. and primarily on Putin. Putin being a civilized country, though I don't know is a civilized country or not, communist country cannot be a civilized country. It's a terrorist country all the time. So he's always showing his nuclear arsenal and threatening the world that he will use atomic explosions against Ukraine and other targets. That's a very dangerous thing. And in the same time, they're using North Koreans and Chinese. Chinese and Russians are in similar sort of, understanding. They don't have different kind of approach. They want to show different kind of approach. Like Chinese ambassador is going there in Ukraine and showing his good face. There's nothing to good face. They want to buy time. There's nothing more than that. Their main interest is to give Russia a little more time so that Russia can manufacture its weapons. Now, West has given a lot of weapons to Ukraine. One is definitely its tanks and javelin missiles. And now they're giving some planes, I'm told, no Russian origin, from other East European countries. Now, the main tanks, are Challenger, British Challenger, German Leopard, and Abrams, American Abrams. But, Abrams have some sort of problem because I'm told, is run by jet fuel. Why on earth you need jet fuel to run a tank? I have no clue. What the Americans think, I have no clue. Why you need jet fuel to run a tank? So this is a very complicated tank, I guess. High maintenance tank. And Russians have their graveyard of tanks. 3,800 tanks are destroyed, mainly T-72. And we have seen a lot of psychological warfare. They're using Kadyrov gang, riding a tank and showing, pointing at Kiev. Though Russian forces are in jeopardy in many, many places, Bakhmut and other places, they are not advancing anymore. Russians cannot win the war. Impossible. Now this is coming to that. After that, now China is doing, the main problem is China. Now India is going there. I want to take emphasis on India. But Indians have a very double standard. They play old Nehruvian non-aligned movement. What is the meaning for it? If that means giving an advantage to Russia, I don't think that's a good idea. They are Russia's mouthpiece in G7. They are buying Russian oil, helping Russian war effort. Now, I would say Indians have done a lot of, childish kind of thing. Weak Russia is good for India's interest. Russia under pressure. So, that suits India's foreign policy. But Indians are not doing that. They're strengthening Russia. Stronger Iran is not good for India also. The Russians are arming Iran with nuclear weapons. North Korea, is that good for India? Now Modi is going to Japan and Japanese, I don't know what is his game plan. What is his game plan? What is he going to say? Japan's stated policy is staying with West. And Modi and Modi's BJP ministers are going and making a dent into that. Though Japan has invested a lot of things in India and Japanese stock market is right now high after 30 or 40, 35 years, all-time high, Nikkei 225. That's a very good news. But, Modi will convince them on two issues. One, trade. That Japanese understand very well. That you invest more in India and import from India to Japan. And take a lot of Indians labor force to Japan. Number two, putting pressure on China. But if you help Russia all the time, Japan's main enemy is also Russia. Japan considers Russia is a very big enemy. So Modi doesn't understand that. And Modi Quad is cancelled right now because of American debt problem. So, these are the things Indians should understand. This kind of old rhetoric of non-aligned movement, what are the value in that? And if India is a democracy. and it should always follow the other democratic nations, those who have openness, lack opaqueness, human dignity, human rights. Look at China. China is arresting everybody. And in any case, China cannot, communist country cannot be India's friend. Even now, I'm giving you an example. Very right now, very latest news is China is taking people from Meghalaya, peaceful Meghalaya to Burma, and running one camp with Meghalayan terrorists. Look, and Indians, no, this is a very strange game plan. China is meddling in Pakistan, making Pakistan more unstable. So these are the things should be taken into consideration. Look, American foreign policy on Taiwan and East China Sea is very clear. If India doesn't support that, and what's the meaning of going there? Just being present or warming the chair is not a good answer for Modi. Now, nuclear proliferation, India will not sign. That's a good thing. I don't disagree with that. But, you are going there, and G7 as a country, you have fifth largest economy, and you are lost as a goat in the wilderness about your foreign policy is not a good answer. It should be supporting Western nations, those who are our future. Our economy is dependent on American, robustness, or American robust economy, American investment, and you are good polishing Russia. What a contradictory idea you have. However, I am very hopeful of Hiroshima, though I didn't visit Hiroshima. Though I was in Japan, I didn't visit Hiroshima. I have big respect for Japan, and I expect Japanese companies to invest more in India. And if Modi can attract more investment, that is a very good thing. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Best wishes. Please like me and subscribe me.